Hi, this lesson is about the volume of right prisms.
You can determine the volume of a prism by finding out how many unit cubes it takes to fill it. Each layer contains 5 times 4, or 20 cubes. There are 3 layers of 20 cubes. So the volume of the prism is 3 times 20, or 60 cubic units. Notice that the area of the base of the prism is 20 square units, and that the height of the prism is 3 units. So the formula for the volume of a prism is the area of its base times its height, or V equals B times H.
Volume is the number of units needed to fill up the prism, or in other words, we would like to say that volume is the amount of space inside an object, or inside a 3D shape. We find the volume by doing the area of the base times the height. They use a capital B to stand for area of the base.
You can determine the volume of a cube by finding out how many unit cubes are needed to fill it. Each layer contains 3 times 3 cubes. There are 3 layers. So the volume of the cube is 3 times 3 times 3, or 27 cubic units. Notice that the volume of the cube is simply the edge length cubed. So the formula for the volume of a cube is V equals S cubed.
In this example of the cube, it's still the same formula really. The volume is big B, the area of the base, times the height. Well, the area of the base down here would be 3 by 3, which is 9. And when you multiply by the height, which is 3, that's where you get 27. But since in a cube all the dimensions are always the same, 3 by 3 by 3, that's why we just say take 3 times itself 3 times. Alright, remember, to get the volume of a prism, you do the area of the base times the height of the prism. So we look at this one. The area of the base will be 9 times 2 times the height, which is 3. 9 times 2 is 18, times 3 is 54 feet. Now with volume, we say cubed, since we had to multiply 3 values together. 3 feet times 2 feet times 9 feet makes 54 feet cubed. We times 3 values. Here we have the cube. Rather than try to memorize more formulas, you can still use the same one. The area of the base will be 3 times 3, times the height will be times another 3. So really, in a cube, we're just taking the side length 3 times itself 3 times. So we would say 27, and again, feet cubed. In this one, first off, we can think of this fraction as a decimal if that's easier. 1 divided by 5 is 0.2, so we can think of this as just 4.2. Right? To get the volume of a prism, we do the area of the base times the height. So the area of the base would be 3 times 2 times the height, which is 4.2. 3 times 2 is 6, and we still need to multiply times 4.2. The volume is 25.2, and for our label, it would be feet cubed. Anytime you find volume, we have cubed units on our label. Alright, go ahead, pause the video, try this one on your own, make sure you get the hang of it, and then play the video to see if you got it right. Okay, on the last one, the volume of a prism is the area of the base times the height. Okay, in this problem, the area of the base would be 6 times 1, times it by the height, which is 9. 6 times 1 is 6, times 9 is 54 feet cubed. What is the volume of a cube with edge length 3/4 feet? If we'd rather work with a decimal, 3 divided by 4 is 0.75. So we could say that our cube has a side length or edge length of 0.75. Now, we could think of it as doing the area of the base and timesing it by the height, but we know with a cube that will always just be the side length times itself 3 times. So the volume of our cube will be 0.421875. Feet cubed. Probably in a lot of cases we would maybe round this maybe to the hundredth place, but it would depend on the directions. We can even find the volume of prisms that aren't rectangular, like this one that is a triangular prism. The same formula applies to all prisms. Find the area of the base and then multiply that by the height of the prism. Well, the base in this figure is a triangle. So in order to find the area of the base, we have to do the formula for the area of a triangle, which is 1/2 times base times height. But then we also have to multiply by the height of the whole prism. So first we're going to find the area of the triangle, because that's our base, 1/2 times b times h, and then we'll multiply that by the height of the whole 3D prism. Okay, just working on our triangle base. The base of the triangle is 5 and the height of the triangle is 12. The base and the height of triangles always meet at a right angle, so you can make sure you're picking the right values. Okay. After we calculate in green here the area of our base, which is a triangle, we're going to need to multiply everything by the height of the whole prism, in this case, which is 17. Okay, well, half of 5 times 12. 5 times 12 would be 60. Half of that is 30. So the area of the base, the area of the triangle, is 30, and we need to multiply that by 17 as well. because 17 is the height of the whole 3D shape, the whole prism. So 510, and in this case we aren't given a label, so we can just say units cubed, since we don't know what kind of measurements we're using. Right, next one, this is another triangular prism. The bases are equilateral triangles. So let's remember what that means. If they're equilateral triangles, all the sides are equal. We need to find the volume of this prism. This also is a triangular prism because the ends of it are triangles. So our bases are triangles. This is just like a triangular prism that's laying down. But this is still our base. And since our triangular prism is laying down, this would be the height of that whole triangular prism. Just imagine it standing up on its ends. Okay, so the volume of any prism is found by doing the area of the base times the height. So in order to do the area of the base, we need to find actually the area of that triangle. So the triangle formula for area is 1/2 times base times height. We also have to multiply by the height of the entire prism. Okay, looking at our triangle, its base is 4 and its height is 3.5. After we find the area of just the triangle base, we also have to multiply by the height of the whole prism. Our prism is laying down. The height is always the distance between your two bases. So our height would be 11.6 for the whole 3D shape. Well, half of 4 is 2. 2 times 3.5 is 7. So 7 is the area of our base, or the area of that green triangle. And we also need to multiply by the height of the whole prism, which is 11.6. So we'd say the volume of this triangular prism is 81.2. And we would say meters cubed. Volume is always a label that's cubed. Okay, here we have a hexagonal prism, so the bases are in the shape of hexagons. We've talked about how you can actually break a hexagon into triangles so that you can find the area of the whole hexagon. So if you find the area of one triangle, you will have to multiply that by 6, so you get the area of the whole hexagon. To find the volume of any prism, you do the area of the base times the height of the whole prism. Well, the base in this case is a hexagon, so we need to find the area of the hexagon. And I think just because this might get a little sloppy, I'm just going to do the area of the hexagon over here on this side, and then I'll use that in my volume formula, just so things stay more clear and less confusing. Well, for the area of the hexagon, I know I need to find the area of the triangle, 1/2 times base times height, and then I can multiply that triangle times 6 to get the area of the whole hexagon. If I focus in on one triangle, its base is 3, like all the way around here, 3, 3, 3, and its height is 2.6. So I would do 1/2 times 3 times a height of 2.6. 1/2 of 3 is 1.5. 1.5 times 2.6 is 3.9. That is the area of one triangle.